Hi everyone, this year whole world is going through its worst phase due to corona pandemic. Among all of this situation, a major accident had occurred in the month of May in Vizag due to leak of a styrene vapor from one of the storage tanks. In this video, we will have a session on detailed analysis of Vizag gas leak. We will see how it happened, what were the possible reasons which led to the explosion of a styrene vapor. So let's begin with the accident's facts. The accident had occurred at approx 3 am morning of 7th May 2020 in one of the plant of LG Group in Vizag. As per the full details of the plant, the name and address of the industrial unit is LG Polymers, RR Venkatapuram, Visakhapatnam. The LG Polymers Visakhapatnam is a subsidiary company of LG Chemicals India Limited, which is a subsidiary company of LG Chem, South Korea. Now, we should know that what had actually happened in the accident. There was an uncontrolled styrene vapor release from one of the styrene storage tanks M6, which is often known as Vizag gas leak. See the accident sequence. At 2:31 am, there is no any sign of release of a styrene vapor as per the recording of security camera installed in the plant. At 2:42 am, the security camera captured the styrene vapor leak into the atmosphere. The styrene vapor began to escape due to vapor explosion. And after few minutes, at 2:53 am, the vapor cloud formation took place outside the tank periphery. Let's come to the various facts. This type of styrene vapor release from a storage tank into the atmosphere happened for the first time in India. There were many other accidents that had happened in the past in other countries, but they were less severe than Vizag gas leak. The injury rate and the fatality rate are very low. Here from the list we can see that most of the accident had happened in USA, followed by Taiwan, Japan and China, but they caused less impact on people and environment as compared to Vizag gas leak. Now we will learn some basic facts about a styrene and its properties. A styrene is a monomer chemically known as ethyl benzene. It is highly flammable and releases a poisonous gas when burnt. In terms of health effects, acute exposure to a styrene in humans results in respiratory effects like breathing problems, asphyxia, mucous membrane irritation, etc., eye irritation and gastrointestinal effects. Styrene is normally used into manufacturing of polystyrene plastic, fiberglass, rubber and latex. As per the accident classification under various statutory laws, Vizag gas leak qualifies as a major accident under MSISC rules 1989, which we have already discussed in previous sessions. The Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Mr. Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy, announced a relief package for the affected people. 1 crore as ex gratia to the kin of the deceased, 10 lakh for people on ventilators, 1 lakh for hospitalized for 2 or 3 days, 25,000 for people undergone primary treatment, 10,000 for the affected villagers, 20,000 for each dead animals. As per the deadly effects, 12 people lost their life, 585 plus affected people were hospitalized. There was a huge loss of livestock and damage to environment. It reminded the whole nation about the isocyanate gas leak disaster which had happened in 1984 in Bhopal-based Union Carbide Company. Rescue and evacuation operations during the accident were undertaken by the district administration, NDRF, police, fire services, etc. with public support. The government of Andhra Pradesh constituted a high-power committee to submit detailed report. To understand the accident causing factors, we need to understand few terminologies like PSM, crisis group, MSDS, and many more. Starting with the PSM, PSM is nothing but a tool for identification, evaluation, mitigation, or prevention of chemical releases that could occur as a result of failures in process, procedures, or equipment. There are 14 elements which are applied during the implementation of PSM. Crisis group is a statutory requirement as per the Chemical Accidents, Emergency Planning Preparedness and Response Rule 1996. This group is formed for managing the chemical accidents and its adverse effects. Crisis group is categorized into 4 groups: Central Crisis Group, State Crisis Group, District Crisis Group, Local Crisis Group. We will have a detailed session in this topic in next sessions. MSDS, known as Material Safety Data Sheet, is also a statutory requirement as per the Schedule 9 of MS-ISC Rules 1989. It is basically a document that lists all important information of the product regarding health and safety. It has 10 sections which are used to show all important data regarding safety. PC, p-tert-butyl cetacol, is commonly added to styrene to prevent polymer formation and oxidative degradation during shipment and subsequent storage. HAZOP, a hazard and operability study, is a structured and systematic examination of a complex plant or existing process or operation in order to identify and evaluate problems that may represent risk to personnel or equipment. MSDS, a Material Safety Data Sheet, are documents that list information related to occupational safety and health for the use of various substances and products. Local Crisis Group. The Local Crisis Group shall be the body in the industrial pocket to deal with the chemical accidents and coordinate efforts in planning, preparedness, and mitigation of a chemical accident. Now, we have an important terminology: runaway polymerization. It is a potentially dangerous reaction in which monomers combine quickly, or we can say at very high speed, producing heat that may lead to an explosion or other hazards. Now, we will see what is polymerization. In polymerization, monomers, especially styrene, combines with other chemicals which initiates polymerization process. The monomers, especially stable, stick together in repeating chains, forming polymers, and continues until the container runs out of initiator chemicals or available monomers. Now, we will see what are the preventive measures to stop runaway polymerization. Incorporate stirring devices that help in breaking up areas and dissipate heat through mixture. A chemist may add compounds called inhibitors to slow the reaction, keeping the rate below the point at which it runs away. They can also add emergency devices that open automatically if the reaction pressure exceeds a safe value. These components prevent the reaction vessel from exploding with violent force. Now, we will see what is thermal stratification. When a styrene is warmer, it gets less dense for each increment in degree Celsius. This allows for thermal layering, where warmer styrene moves on the top of the colder styrene. We have taken an illustration from lake stratification for better understanding. The topmost reddish layer is epilimnion, middle green layer is metalimnion, and bottommost bluish layer is hypolimnion. Here the red zone is warmest and bluish layer is coldest. Now we will see that what were the main reasons for uncontrolled release of styrene vapor. We can say the runaway reaction was the main reason for such kind of a vapor explosion. Here we can see in the graph that the temperature was rising from back day of explosion. The continuous increase in temperature had gone to its peak around 150 plus degree, which is shown as critical condition inside red rectangle in the graph. We will understand the runaway reaction and the explosion sequence. There was continuous increase in temperature which led to polymerization. Heat generation due to polymerization finally led to runaway reaction. Increase in temperature to the boiling point of a styrene monomer, which is 145 degrees centigrade, led to boiling of liquid styrene, leading to controlled vapor formation. Further increase in temperature led to increase in the pressure of the vapor, which led to uncontrolled release of vapor from the vents into the atmosphere. Now we will see all the major causes which led to increase in temperature and finally led to runaway reaction in the M6 tank and release of styrene vapor into the outside atmosphere. The first major cause is modified pipe design. The modified pipe design carried out by December 2019 within the M6 tank not only disturbed the styrene recirculation system but also led to thermal stratification in the M6 tank with high temperature gradient. Hence, the top level of the styrene monomers in the M6 tank experienced much higher temperatures than the bottom layer. Second one is refrigeration and cooling system. The refrigeration system was operated as a standard practice in LG polymers from 8 am to 5 pm only on all days manually. There was inadequate time duration for refrigeration and cooling system to maintain the temperatures of styrene monomer below 20 degrees centigrade in the M6 tank at all levels in the tank. The third reason is inappropriate temperature measurement. The temperature measurement in M6 tank is restricted to the bottom zone, while the top and central zones had higher temperature. So the temperatures of the top level and middle level were not available at all to detect the temperature rise in the upper levels. Further, the SOP followed by LG polymers for the temperature limit of 35 degree was improper. The next cause is old design structure and lack of maintenance. The M6 tank was an old tank with old design structures. The inner side of the tank was not lined. Further, no tank cleaning was done since 5 years, last cleaned in 2015, resulting in the accumulation of contaminants which acted as a catalyst inside the tank, initiating polymerization of styrene, which overwhelmed the inhibition effects of TBC. The next cause is ineffective limited TBC available. The high temperatures at the top level of the tank led to thermal radical polymerization. The high temperatures made the TBC available ineffective. The other cause is increase of polymer content ignored by company management. The company management had ignored the increase of polymer content from 4th April 2020 and then the sharp rise on 25th April 2020 to 28th April 2020. The management considered polymer content as a quality measure for a styrene rather than a safety measure. The early indications of a runaway reaction shown in the rise in polymer content in the M6 tank was totally ignored. The other major cause is lack of temperature sensors. There was only one sensor for temperature, which measured only the local temperature and did not indicate the temperature at the higher level of the tank, as the contents were not well mixed. The other cause is non-availability of TBM and other high temperature inhibitors like TDM and NDM. The company failed to consider the TVC stratification and measured TVC only from the samples from the bottom layer. Further, there was no stock of TVC available in the LG polymers at the time of accident. The quantity of high temperature inhibitors like TDM and NDM was also limited, which got exhausted after a few hours and failed in preventing the runaway reactions. The next cause is lack of oxygen monitoring device or system. There was no monitoring device or no monitoring system in place to measure the quantum of dissolved oxygen in the styrene monomer in the M6 tank. Our next main cause is PSM is not implemented. No process safety management system was followed in LG polymers. The safety protocols were not followed. Next major cause is inadequate knowledge, skills, qualification or competency. There was a dearth of knowledge and talent among the top, middle and shift management in LG polymers. Most of the present shift in charges engineers were not qualified engineers, hence their knowledge and skills were not adequate when faced with a challenge or an emergency. Now, next main cause is non-consideration of idling conditions and ignorance of early indications. LG Polymers was closed during the COVID-19 lockdown period as it is a non-essential industry, and the minimum staff were given permission to maintain the factory during the lockdown period. However, the LG Polymer management was irresponsible, as they followed the same SOP as applicable for regular operational circumstances during the lockdown period as well, and did not consider the idling conditions in the M6 tank. Further, they ignored the early indications in the rise in polymer content. No separate SOP was created for the lockdown and restart operations. No PSSR pre-startup safety review was done. Our next main cause is failure to submit HAZOP and risk assessment reports. Other main cause is no on-site emergency plan. The on-site emergency plan of LG Polymers did not take into account any likely scenarios of a styrene vapor release from a storage tank, and such a case was never considered for emergency mock drill. The other main cause is off-site emergency plan was not followed. Even the siren, which was in working condition and had multiple activation points, including near the factory gate, was not activated at the time of the accident. Here we are listing all the root causes behind the release of a styrene vapor into the outside atmosphere. First one is poor design of tank. Second one is inadequate refrigeration and cooling system. Third one is absence of circulation of mixing systems. Next one is inadequate measurement parameters. Next one is poor safety protocols, poor safety awareness, inadequate risk assessment and response, poor process safety management system, slackness of management, insufficient knowledge among staffs, inadequate skills, qualification or competency. And the last one is insufficient knowledge of the chemical properties of a styrene, especially during storage under idle conditions, and total breakdown of the emergency response procedures. To shift the hazardous chemical industry of LG Polymers from the present location, and it may be relocated away from the human habitations, preferably in the established notified industrial states. The present LG Polymers industrial land may be used for either green or white category industry, subject to the outcome of environmental clearance. Now, we will see the technical suggestions regarding the storage, handling and processing of a styrene monomer and the emergency response system in case of accident or incident. There must be provision for mixing in case of failure of the circulation system. The material of construction MOC of the tank should be carbon steel with coating inside. Tank life should be clearly defined. Tank cleaning and coating should be carried out once in 2 years. The roof of the tank should be supported with outside structures. The number of nozzles in the tank should be kept to the minimum required. All styrene monomer tanks should have flare system or cryogenic system so that there is no styrene vapor release even under normal circumstances. This system will also prevent pollution of air. There must be multiple continuous temperature measurement probes at different levels of the tank linked to the control room. Temperature monitors and refrigeration system should be interlinked in such a way to maintain temperature of the entire tank below 20 degrees centigrade at any point of time. In case of failure of the operating refrigeration system, a standby refrigeration system shall be started automatically. Automatic monitoring of inhibitor content in ppm and measurement at different levels of the tank with data recording and alert facility in the control room is essential. Dissolved oxygen measurement system must be available at different levels of the tank and linked to the control room. Polymer content measurement in ppm must be available at different levels of the tank and linked to the control room. The acceptable range of the polymer content in ppm also need to be clearly defined by the industry standards. Use of siren even during minor emergencies should be made mandatory practice. Safety protocols for units or factories. Storing or processing styrene monomer must include vapor release apart from the possibility of fire and explosion in the emergency plants. Units or factories storing or processing a styrene monomer must undertake an annual safety audit. The PESO, the Petroleum and Explosive Safety Organization, which has classified a styrene monomer as B category petroleum, should look into this issue again and classify it as A category as it needs to be stored below 20 degrees centigrade. SCABA's self-contained breathing apparatus and other equipment needed for dealing with chemical disasters should be made compulsory for the units storing or processing a styrene monomer. Vapor detectors shall be provided at the boundary of the factory also to indicate in the DCS distributed control system about the styrene vapor escape outside the factory premises. The industry shall provide the styrene detectors at unloading point near all the vents, downwind, upwind directions and factory boundary, and the same shall be connected to the control room with alert facility. Process safety management is a systematic, comprehensive approach towards various aspects of chemical safety with 14 elements. This shall be made mandatory for all factories which are covered by MSISC rules 1989. The industry may examine the possibility that the sprinkler system is interlocked with tank internal temperature measuring devices. The sprinkler system shall start automatically whenever there is an unacceptable thermal profile, both internal tank temperature as well as external ambient temperature. Now we will see the technical suggestions regarding hazardous chemical industries. hazard and operability study and its compliance had been made compulsory for all hazardous process factories or units wherever there is processing or storage of hazardous chemicals. The industry should arrange for annual safety audit and annual environmental audit. Industries handling hazardous chemicals shall appoint a senior level safety officer with prescribed technical qualifications and experience on the priority basis. There should be a safety officer available in each shift. The safety officer shall undergo 1-year diploma course on safety by recognized institutes on mandatory basis. All officers working in regulatory departments dealing with factories shall undergo safety course once in every 3 years. Local crisis groups should be immediately constituted for each of the hazardous industry as per the Chemical Accidents Emergency Planning, Preparedness and Response Rules 1996. The local crisis groups should be involved intensely in the mock drills and training for dealing with emergencies. There shall be constant close watch on the online monitoring of the effluent and emissions by the Andhra Pradesh Pollution Control Board or Central Pollution Control Board. The industry shall identify process safety competency based training needs and shall develop training modules and the training to be imparted till the competency levels are improved. The hazardous industry must undertake competency mapping for all the operating and maintenance staff. The gaps in competency should not be tolerated in respect of hazardous chemical industries at all. Now we will see some technical suggestions regarding hazardous chemical industry close to residential areas. Adequate number of sensors attached with Hooter system to identify the release of toxic or hazardous gases which are harmful to the human beings and property shall be installed not only inside the industry but also outside the industry within the identified impact zone. The sensor activation should alert the following offices: local police stations, nearest fire station, SDRF cell at collectorate, the inspector of factories, the regional office, Andhra Pradesh Pollution Control Board. The Industries and Commerce Department should take lead to develop industrial estates away from the habitations with adequate buffer zone, especially for hazardous industries. All employees and people in the vicinity of the industry shall be made aware of the MSDS of hazardous chemicals and should be displayed at the factory gate on the website of the company and should also be informed during the off-site emergency mock drill. The hazardous industry should prepare a uniform standard format for the emergency plans with full details including the equipment and chemicals required in the event of an emergency. Each state should develop a database of all industrial units handling, storing and processing hazardous chemicals as defined in MSISC Rules 1989, including isolated storage and the respective material safety data sheets which should be available with all departments. There is a famous quote of a famous Indian personality, Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. Preventable accident, if not prevented due to our negligence, it is nothing short of a murder. Dear friends, as we know that 98% of industrial accidents occur due to human negligence, or we can say that man-made accident. These 98% accident can be prevented if we take appropriate safety measures and follow safety guidelines.